is a moment.
Are you having a moment?
I'm having a moment.
Let's take a moment.
Are you having a moment?
I'm having a moment.
Let's take a moment.
This is a moment.
I think this is a moment.
Yeah, this is a moment.
Welcome, everyone, to This is a Moment podcast. We are here, me and Paige. Well, should I say Imaya? Do you guys already know who I am? Are we good?
They forgot. You should
They
remind
forgot.
them.
Okay. Well, I'm your girl, Imaya.
Yes, and I'm Paige.
Yes, and we are here on our YouTube series, An Underrated Moment.
That's right.
Yes, and we have an extra special guest today. She is an educator. She's a TV host. She's an actor. It is Liz Adeola.
Hi. Welcome, Liz. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're very excited.
Yes.
And before we dive into our extra fun, underrated moment, we like to ask our guests if they had a moment this week that they'd like to talk about. So, Liz, did you have a moment that needs a little discussion this week?
Yeah, I had a moment. So I live in Utah and I work on a TV show, and we've been doing shoots to record the introductions for different episodes of the show.
Mhm.
And this week we went out to Alta, the ski resort,
Oh,
and we're out on the slopes. And as nice as that sound, I hate the cold. I
I see it
I
runs in the
hate
family.
yeah.
ice,
Maya,
and
too.
it was like 20 degrees out there, and the crew was like
That's
having
cool.
conversations and stuff, and I was like, let's wrap this
You're
up.
like,
Let's
hurry
let's
up.
go. But on the drive back, once I was back in like a heated situation,
Right.
just feeling, I don't know, seeing the beauty of like what God created and just how the snow hits the trees and everything. It was,
Oh, pretty.
I could appreciate that, but when I was out there and freezing my butt off, I had like 2 pairs of hand warmers and I was still cold. There was like
Yeah.
snow whipping in my face.
Oh,
When
no.
I got back to the car, I could tell like my makeup was like melting off, like I was crying. And I was like, nobody said nothing about
No,
Let me
that's
shoot
dirty.
all
They
day
need
like
to tell
this.
you.
So that was my moment. A little bit of a lot of hesitation, but some
Oh
appreciation.
my gosh.
Yeah. Well, that's understandable when you have to be out freaking freezing your butt off.
Yeah.
Were you guys actually skiing or?
No, people were skiing behind us, and that was another thing. Like when it's that cold out, I'm like, I'm hitting these lines. We're wrapping this up.
Yeah. Hurry
It's not
up.
gonna take like 20 takes, but like people would ski behind us and they'd be like,
Oh.
woohoo, hey, like the people
You're
trying
like,
to
stop
wave.
having fun. Stop.
And like, okay, I guess we'll do another take.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
I'd be
That's
so
rough.
bad. Oh my gosh, especially if I'm cold. I'm like, shut up.
Yeah.
No
I know.
fun.
Like filming on location, sometimes I'm like, are you sure you want to do this? Because people be wilding in the back and it makes the day so much longer.
Yeah. And they think they're like, that's gonna maybe help them get in the video, like the final piece. And it's
Right.
like, no,
You
no,
just
it
made it,
doesn't.
so we have to cut it now. So
Yeah, and do it again.
thank
Yeah.
you.
You've made my day worse. Thank you. You wanted your moment? Well, you're not going to get it.
You're
Now
not
I'm
gonna
mad.
get it. Yeah, we're gonna cut it on purpose.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see how, it's much nicer to be inside just looking at the
Right.
view. So not having to deal with the elements.
Yeah. And they invited us to come back out and ski for fun and stuff like that. But
Oh, cool.
I've had a terrible time skiing where I had to get rescued off the mountain. So that is kind of like
No.
stuck in my brain. And so I'm like,
That
I'm
is
not
scary.
sure if I'm
Yeah.
ready to go back yet.
Oh
Yeah,
my
not worth it.
gosh.
Yeah.
I've never been skiing. That sounds terrifying, being trapped on the mountain.
I think, especially if you're a person who kind of likes to be able to control where you're going and how
Right.
fast you're going
Oh yeah.
down a mountain, and there's no wall or
Right,
fence
to keep you
if
on
you like
it.
go over the edge.
Right.
And
Oh my
so-
gosh. Yeah.
This sounds like a hard no. A hard no.
I should have stuck to
Uh-uh.
the bunny slopes, but it was a lesson I learned. Yeah, for sure.
Oh
Oh my
no.
gosh. I've
Yeah.
only been sledding, and even that feels out of control sometimes. You're
That's
just like
true.
spinning on a disc, like, whoa, like wherever you
Yeah.
end up.
I know. I always thought maybe snowboarding would be better, but skiing, I don't know, because the skis
Mm.
are two set. Like you have to control both your feet. At least if you're, I
But you
don't know
do
if
have
there's more
poles.
control. That's true to kind of hold. I don't know. I just seen it on TV. I'm not a part of it, so.
Yeah. I think you have to get into it as a kid, and growing up in Arizona, like there was
Yeah,
no
we don't do
chance of
that.
that. But you
Yeah.
you see little kids in the same space as you are having just like the time of their lives. And so like it's tough to give up because you're like, if those kids can do it, I should be able to do it too.
Right.
I'd be like, here, you can have mine. You win, little
Time to
kid.
tap out. Yeah.
Yeah, you're the winner.
Yeah. It's like, how come they can do it so well, but I can't? That would
It's
be,
Yeah.
too much.
yeah.
They're
So
closer to the
rude.
ground, a lot closer to
That's
the
true.
ground.
This
They're
is
not
They fall.
true.
concerned.
They have a lower center of gravity. It's easier.
Yeah.
Well,
Ah.
speaking, of having a fun time, I guess those kids were, not you, Liz, but no, I'm just kidding. We have a super fun, underrated moment that didn't
Yes.
quite get to come to be. Liz, why don't you let us know what's the underrated moment?
Oh my gosh. So in 2009, I believe it
Mm-hmm.
was 2009, there was all this talk about this collaboration. And this was, I think, a time of like strong, incredible powerhouse icons that were just in their prime. And
Mm-hmm.
so you had these collaborations where Beyonce collaborated with Lady Gaga. She
Yes.
collaborated with
True.
Shakira. And then
Yes.
there was going to
True.
be this collaboration with Alicia Keys. And for
Yes.
me, I was an Alicia Keys fan before I was a Beyonce fan. I was a
Okay.
Destiny's Child fan, but then I had some haterade over what went down when
Was
the
hurt
group
when it
with
was
all the
Split
over.
group
up.
shakeup stuff. And it took a
Yeah.
while for me to get over that. And so I turned my allegiance over to Alicia Keys. So
Yeah.
I
The
was
slam
really,
poetry.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, slam poetry. She talked a little bit more about life than about relationships. And I was like, this Beyonce, all of her songs are just about dudes and heartbreak.
She's like, I'm
And it's
not
kind of
into it.
all the same tone. Whereas Alicia Keys would talk more about life and the grind and survival and all that stuff. And I could relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to get the little bees under
Yeah. Yeah. Don't,
yeah,
I'm like, don't anger
I
the beehive.
I love
Don't.
Beyonce, but this was just me at this time.
Mm-hmm.
So when I heard that a collaboration was happening with Alicia Keys and Beyonce together, and they went
Yes.
to one of my favorite places that I always wanted to go, Brazil, to shoot a
Yes.
music
Right.
video, I was excited. There was leaked photographs that came out from the set, from them filming. There were clips of them filming. I wasn't too sold on the song because it was once again one of those songs where it was all about a dude or something, but they
Yeah.
tried to kind of spin it and say it was a female empowerment
Yeah.
song. So I was just
The
like, this
women.
is this is going to be incredible. And I
Yes.
waited and waited and waited, and the video never came out.
It never came. That's why we're taking an underrated moment for Put It in a Love Song by Alicia Keys and Beyonce.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
so weird digging into the history of this because it came out again 2009 era as a single for Alicia Keys's new album, and they teased the video. So the way that they had a whole
Right.
teaser, and it was filmed, directed by Melina Matsoukas,
So
who
cool.
now more people know, and yeah, went to Rio de Janeiro, did the whole thing, and it just never came out. And I was reading it was because they the label wanted to promote Unthinkable, Alicia Keys's next single. Like they wanted to push that single and that music video more. So they just ended up dropping it. My theory is they recorded, filmed the music video right away, but when they put the single out, I don't think it did as well as they were anticipating. So just ended up dropping,
I throw the whole
saying
thing out.
whatever, throw the video out, we'll just promote this single, because it actually ended up getting pulled off the radio. They pulled it. It was like, this is the next single, and then they were like, never mind, no, this isn't the single, it's gonna be Unthinkable.
So rude.
Yeah.
I know. Watching the teaser, I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So you made the video.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm
Right.
watching.
Yeah.
So there's already footage. Like you have it,
That's
They
and
what
it
have
just
to
feels
get-
never
like
saw the light of
such.
day. I'm
Who
so
knows how
shocked.
much money was spent on this video to fly everybody out to Brazil to do this. And I went down a rabbit hole and because I was like, Melina, what? She was the
Yeah.
director of this
I
video who
know.
also did Formation. Like, how could
Mhm.
it have gone
I
wrong
know.
and not
Right.
ended up on our TV screens and on YouTube and just
I know.
everywhere?
I know. I
MTV.
don't MTV.
MTV too. Okay, one of them.
I don't understand how it's like in a company's interest to have already like filmed something and then just
Right.
never release it. Like that, we've even seen that happening now with like TV shows. It'll be like they finished filming. Oh, it
Just
got
kidding, we're not
pulled.
doing
It's
it.
not going to
Yeah.
stream anymore. And I'm like, how does that actually, you know what? Someone did tell me actually how that could save money is because the company can count it as a loss and get it written off or something like
Oh,
that. I don't really
wow.
know the details of all that, but it just seems so weird to have spent all the money going back to this music video, have already spent that money on that music video and then not release it because especially for like a label, I don't know how you would lose money on like posting a video. I don't get it. Whatever. I'm sure
Yeah.
there's money involved, but it just seems like give us what we wanted. I hope it comes out leaked somehow in the future.
Years later.
Alicia Keys has said that like now in recent interviews, because people are still, some people who are passionate about it, like me, are still talking about it, but she has said that maybe it might appear on Tidal, but she has to
Okay.
get Beyonce's permission in
Right.
order
Right, yeah.
to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the only person who's like talked about it since is Alicia Keys and not Beyonce
Yeah.
or Melina.
May
And
not
so
happen.
I'm just kind of like, what really went down? Because I combed through just like a ton of videos looking for footage of it, first of all, and looking at the
Mhm.
pictures and stuff. And Alicia Keys even went on Oprah to promote the music video and the
Oh,
collaboration.
to
wow.
promote the video.
And she showed like a clip of it on Oprah. And so it's like,
What
you
the
don't
hell?
tell to Oprah. Like,
I know. Don't be making
has
Oprah a
Oprah
liar.
seen the video?
Oh my gosh. No, that's weird. That is so weird to be going on a promotional tour, being like,
Right.
we're gonna be dropping a video.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
And even in that clip, it was like it showed some behind the scenes, it showed some of the
Right.
Yeah.
video, and it was like coming soon. And so
Right.
I think that's what makes it even worse is you have these two megastars who are supposed to come
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
The video supposedly was recorded where Michael Jackson filmed one of his videos in the past. So there was
Oh.
all this buzz about this incredible mashup that was happening, and
Yeah.
it just never came to be.
So rude.
And at the time, because this was the time when stuff like this was happening, it was all the Britney versus Christina. And so
Oh
people
yeah.
Right.
started pitting it
Right.
as maybe there was a clash
There's like
between
beef.
Beyonce and Alicia Keys. But Alicia Keys is like one of the most chillest people in the world.
I know. I can't imagine. And when I was reading, they were talking about the recording process and how fun it was to record this song together. I didn't realize they were both signed at age 14 to Columbia Records, like both of them
Yeah.
at the same
Crazy.
time at the same label. And so they were like, it was nice to like come together, finally collab together because they've kind of had these journeys and they can relate to one another in that way. So I'm just like, what kind of situation would have gone down? I feel like to me, it seems more like label business than it does like artist beef, especially because it didn't chart like how they were probably expecting it to. And it was to promote Alicia Keys' next single. Like they were like, we should just go with this one instead. It kind of seems like more behind the scenes pulling of things than it does like a clash between the artists to me.
Well, I thought it would be, even when I saw the little teaser, I was like, oh my gosh, this would have been the best because you know how Mariah and Whitney had their fake beef and like
Yes.
this would have been like the best, like, ooh, there's beef between them. And then they release a song together and
That's
they're all
true.
cute.
Beef
in
makes it
Brazil.
better
Right.
sometimes.
I was like ready. I was like, oh my gosh, this would have been the best. I should have been the PR person.
Yes.
This would have been the best collab if it was like led up like that.
That is so true.
I I found a few quotes from Alicia Keys, and she said she told MTV News, shooting Putting in a Love Song in Rio in Brazil was incredible. I feel that the energy of the city matches the energy of the song. It's sensual, it's exciting, it's so rich with color. I loved it. The people came out so heavy and hard and so hard. I think it was exciting, especially to participate and experience it with them like that. Me and B have a good relationship, and to be able to have the chemistry we have and do it in a city that's so unique like that is unforgettable. The pictures speak 1,000 words. So you saw the energy out there. It was great. That's what she said. And then I heard these radio interviews where she was like, well, at the end of the day, the energy of the video didn't match the energy of the song.
Whoa.
What? You're
What
like,
does it mean?
What happened?
You're like, is there drama?
Yo,
Alicia, tell us when
something
you watch
went
this.
down. The energy of the video didn't match the energy. Wondering
song.
maybe. No, I was gonna say, was it like didn't match the energy of the reception of the song? But maybe she would have said that if she meant that. But
I don't know.
So I saw a couple of the reviews for the song,
Mhm.
and I hate that people pit them against each other. But
Yeah.
a lot of people at that time, critics who reviewed the song, were saying that Beyonce outshone Alicia Keys
Oh,
on her own song. And then I
Mm.
started thinking about it, and I was like, Melina was the director for the music video, and she had already directed, I think, like 2 other Beyonce music videos. She had
Yeah.
directed Upgrade You and
Oh yeah.
something else she had also directed for Beyonce. And so
Mhm.
it's almost like if it's supposed to be something to help catapult Alicia Keys, but
Right.
in turn, Beyonce was shining a little bit more. I can see how
maybe,
she could
yeah.
feel a certain kind of way saying that this isn't a good look and it's not going to serve her.
Yeah.
And I saw one live performance of them doing the song together.
Right.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Wasn't
that's
the
right. There is that
Billboard one,
one.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And people in the comments were saying that Beyonce just
Shocked.
came out and took over.
This
Yeah.
is her concert.
Beyonce is a performer, and like Alicia Keys, I feel like we're used to seeing her behind the piano. So when
Right.
you come with that kind of song and that's a performance song, that's like a song that makes you want to dance, then Beyonce gonna take over.
Yeah.
Unless you got Shakira up there. Shakira was like
Right.
maybe the one dancer contender with Beyonce in that Beautiful Liar music video.
So fun.
But I was proud of Beyonce. Like, this was when I finally started coming around to being like, okay, she's pretty cool. Cause I was like, usually I was the person that was always like, why Beyonce always singing the lead, the first part of the song, and not letting somebody else sing the first part of the song? How come
Yeah.
Kelly or Michelle can't sing the first part of the
Why
song
they
or
can't get
take
a
over in
turn?
the single? And so
Yeah.
this was a time where Alicia Keys was singing the first part of the song, and
Yeah.
then Beyonce was coming in on it.
Yeah. Beyonce was
And
very much like the feature.
Yeah.
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 So it
Yeah.
felt better. It felt better. You were like, okay, I can get with her. She doesn't have to be the front one.
I
We're
was
fine.
like, she's working together, collaborating with other women.
Like,
You
it's
know what I
cool.
mean? Like,
Yes.
You're like, it's cool. I know. I forget about. I feel so rude. I love Alicia Keys, but like sometimes because I don't see her that much, I'd be forgetting
Yeah.
about her. But when she
Mhm.
first came out, I loved Alicia Keys. Like Fallen,
Yeah.
I wore
Yes.
that song. I wore that song out.
Yes.
Like, wore
Yes.
it
She was
out.
giving us like the blues again. Like,
Yes.
it had been a minute. Like she was a young new person giving us the blues, giving us like that Mary J. Blige type of,
Yeah.
these songs.
Yes, she's hurting. She's in pain.
Yeah.
It was good.
And I got her first 2 albums, and I felt like there were no skips on those albums. Like,
So
you could just
good.
listen to them straight through.
Oh my
And
gosh,
then
love that. Love
around
a
this
CD by.
time, just more competition was popping off. You
Yeah.
had Rihanna that was also coming out with hit after hit.
Mhm.
Beyonce, this was around the time when she did her I Am Sasha Fierce,
Yeah.
which put a ring on it. All that stuff just
Mhm.
took her to another level. And
I
so
know. That's why it's sad. Like, I feel like any association with Beyonce like would have been a good one, like that music video coming out. Like I don't think it would have been a disservice to Alicia Keys if that was like the thinking behind the move of pulling it, that like Beyonce shining a little more. I'm like, I don't think it would have been bad though to be in something that's like getting those looks and like getting more plays, if it's, even if it is because of Beyonce, like your associate, it's your song, it's going to be on your album, so like wouldn't that like promote more album sales? Like I don't know, but at the end of the day the song didn't do as well, so maybe it was just as simple as that.
Yeah,
So sad.
So sad.
So sad.
But it looked fun. I did want to see the video. Seeing the I was like, this looks like fun.
I love the outfits. I even like screenshotted one because I was like, I would wear this today. Like this,
I'm gonna wear this
still gorgeous, beautiful. I was also looking at, okay, what is Beyonce wearing? What is Alicia Keys wearing? And it did seem like it was kind of more Beyonce themed attire that was in the music video. I hope they drop it on Tidal because I want to see the full thing.
Yeah, it would be so nice to see the full thing. I do think the song sounds slightly more like a Beyonce song, like that kind of beat. I even read they were like it's similar to like a Single Ladies, like that kind of anthem-y dance kind of song than it does an Alicia Keys song. And maybe that was like the wrong move. Like maybe they were like, oh, we're collabing with Beyonce, we should like lean more into this.
But it was Swiss Beats who made it for her.
I know, so true. Were they together at that time?
I think so.
They were?
Maybe they weren't supposed to be because he was married.
He was like, let me help you. Just kidding.
Let me help you.
Yeah.
Because I really like Unthinkable. Like when I read
it
like,
was a good,
they like switched it and that was the next single, I'm like, yeah, that was a good single. So
that was good.
I see.
It was a good single. The video was all right, but it was the guy from One Tree Hill. Who was like
Chad Michael Murray.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, I love that there's like storytelling and stuff in that video.
Yeah.
The Put It in a Love Song video it's like a party song.
Yeah.
People dancing in the streets and with Beyonce. So how do you spell a Beyonce video for Chad Michael Murray and Alicia Keys? No diss to Chad Michael Murray, but
you're like,
I know.
What are we doing?
We really needed to get Put It in a Love Song.
I know. I just want to see them together.
Chad Michael Murray could have came after and Unthinkable, and we could have had Beyonce first.
I thought you meant Chad Michael Murray shows up in Brazil too. I was like,
he can come. No.
I'm like, what are you doing there though?
Yeah. I feel like Alicia Keys is usually very like sultry in her eyes in like music videos too, and especially in If I Ain't Got You, which was another uncontinued music video in her camp.
I'm salty about it.
You mad about that one?
I'm sharing the links with you guys to watch it, and I see they cut off the to be continued.
Yes, for those who don't know, If I Ain't Got You, at the very end of the music video when it first came out, it said to be continued. Now they've since pulled that off because they never did the to be continued. We never got the part 2. But if you watch the music video, it feels unfinished.
Right.
Like it was like, what was the conclusion?
I know.
Every Man and His Boys got her a piano at the beginning in their empty apartment. And then towards the end, they got in a fight over some Cocoa Krispies. He walks out the room. He walks out the apartment, leaves, and then it shows her going out to the street looking around. And that's the end of the video now.
Right.
No.
And he
got arrested. In the original, he got arrested.
Yeah. I saw him getting like taken away like that. But I was like, what happened? What he get arrested for?
Where he going? What's happening?
There was supposed to be a part 2 and it never happened.
Wow. Rude.
I want to know why. And I wonder like what song was supposed to be the part 2. Like I wonder if that song like is on the album, but they just didn't do the video as a part 2, like just didn't complete that video story. But I will say that song is like pretty and it's all about love, you know? but the music video is them fighting the whole time. I was
Mhm.
like, oh,
I
this
was
is like
sobbing.
the lyrics are like so pretty, some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all if it ain't with you. And they're just fighting the whole time. I was like, damn.
He puts it, and because there's no like words or like you don't really
Right.
understand what they're
Yeah.
fighting about,
Right.
he puts like this fur
The
coat on
jacket
her
on her.
and she throws it off on the bed. And I'm like, she's probably
What
like, forget
happened?
this coat, pay the heat bill. Like,
Right. What are they fighting
Stop
about? We have
messing
no
around.
idea what they're fighting about. She's
I
just
know.
looking
I
pretty,
did.
like singing
Yes.
outside, looking at the camera, and then you cut to them
yeah.
Yes.
angry. And
That's
it's
why I
I
was
like,
like, well,
know.
he ate the last of the Cocoa Krispies
That's
then.
why the cereal fight got me too. I was like, wait a minute. He can't even make cereal right. Everything he do is wrong.
Then he's like eating an
cereal, how I
apple while
like
she's
it.
yelling.
Is that is so funny? I
Oh
totally
my
thought the same thing. I was
gosh.
like, dang, what he do right? Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. I don't. It was maybe that's why there wasn't a part two. People were like, I don't even know what happened in part one. Like, what?
Yeah. They have a question. They're like, wait a
What?
minute.
What do you guys think would have happened if there was a part two? Where do you think the story was going?
What was the end of this?
She would have had to go get him out for bail, return the piano. Because did he get arrested for stealing the piano?
Did he steal? He
Oh,
stole a piano
was
for
the
her.
piano? Oh my gosh.
I like
Dang.
that. I
Going
feel
to
like
jail for the piano you stole. It sounds deep, honestly. Like you can't even really share that story with other people when you're in there.
What are you in here for? I stole a
Yes.
piano from my
It's not gonna be a good one.
that's some like Looney Tune
Yeah,
ass.
yeah,
I
like
stole a piano. Like,
yeah. I don't know if you should share that when he's in there.
I
The
was shook
writer's
though.
room for that part two.
I was
You gotta
shook. I
call
read
somebody.
though, she said the song was inspired like by the death of Aaliyah and the 9/11
What?
attacks and how like, we need to focus on like people, like loving people and not these material
Right.
things and stuff.
Mhm.
So I kind of think the videos would have been tragic either way because I was like,
It
oh
was
Yeah.
gonna
wow. I feel like it was gonna have a tragic end. I don't know
And
what
she
was gonna
said
happen with Method Man, but
it wasn't gonna be good.
she started writing the song while she was on the plane, like when she found out about Aaliyah's death.
oh
Mhm.
wow.
And I had a similar moment because I was all about Aaliyah as well. That's another reason why my Beyonce appreciation was delayed because I was more into Aaliyah at that time.
Okay.
And I bought her last CD and I was like watching the making of Rock the Boat while I was on a plane. And I was just like, this does
Whoa.
not feel right. It feels
Yeah.
weird and just eerie. And
Yeah.
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 I know. That was so so sad.
Crazy.
Yeah. Rest in peace to Aaliyah. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. I feel
Mhm.
like, yeah, you're more into like a subtler voice and more like emotional than like, because Beyonce's very powerhouse. Like she's punching you with the
Yeah.
vocals and like
And
hearing you.
little by little, I became a member and fan of the Beehive. Like, I think it was finally when she released Four, and it
Mhm.
was
That
like
was a
this
good album, yeah.
backstory of her breaking free from her dad, doing everything for her, and just being more creative and taking more ownership of like the music and things she wanted to do.
Mhm.
And that was the moment where it just switched for me, and I was completely
Mm.
all
You're like, I'm on
Beyonce
board.
every day. Still love Rihanna as well, but I was just
Mhm.
like, okay, I can get with this.
Okay. That's so
Yeah.
That's
funny.
fun.
Love this journey for
I
you.
know the whole journey.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, these music videos, the ones that
I
never
know.
were,
I
we need
know.
them. We hope
The
they come out.
mysteries. Yeah.
Yeah. Back
Build them.
in.
And I
Let's
hope
do
they do
a
something together again. Like they
yeah,
still
they
Yes.
could.
haven't done anything else that I know of
They
since
could.
that time.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say it would be nice to have like a new collab. I feel like sometimes it feels like artists just collab once and they're like, we did it. But I'm like, I
That's
hope
enough.
that was enough. But I hope they do one again because it would be fun. And I feel like I haven't heard like a new Alicia Keys song like in a little bit.
I know.
It
There was a
would
whole bunch of drama that went down with her. my hairstylist got tickets to her recent tour and her concert, and it was something like almost like how Lauryn Hill didn't have the rights to her
Oh.
music, so had to like sing songs in a different way. And
Oh
I
my
think like
gosh.
Alicia Keys is like re-recording a lot of stuff to
Oh,
regain ownership. And
Oh
it's
my
just so crazy
gosh.
when you hear about that stuff in the music industry, because from the outside,
yeah.
you're like, they balling, they went to Brazil,
Right.
they went
It's
here and
theirs.
there. And
Yeah.
but there's a struggle that is
Oh
just
my
Yeah.
gosh.
crazy.
I
Even
can't
Taylor
believe it.
Swift re-recording all her stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. I know. I feel like I forget about that part until people bring it up and they're like, so and so doesn't own that. I'm like, oh my gosh. And they have to
Mhm.
do
Yeah.
all these things to get it. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are always like, when you hear that an artist like actually owns their masters, it's like,
Yeah. You're like,
what? Like,
oh,
or a lot of times though, I'm pretty sure it's like split, like people will own percentages.
right.
I'm
Mhm.
sure like the label owns that much of it and then artist owns this much or vice versa. Da, da, da. It's like,
With Alicia Keys from day one, it was always kind of sold to us. She writes her own
She
music.
yeah,
writes.
She
Yeah.
yeah,
plays her
especially
own.
since especially since
Yeah.
she's a writer, I think you can have more ownership over your
That's
music.
crazy.
So that is weird that
You got to
she,
fight them.
oh my gosh.
That's so deep.
Well, you guys
Yeah.
heard it here first. If a bunch of drama comes out about Alicia Keys's battle for the rights to her music,
That's so
Liz
crazy.
peeped it.
She did. She already knew.
My hairdresser knew
Liz's hairdresser
and told
peeped it.
me about it.
Yeah.
My stylist. Yeah.
You get the best news from the hairdresser, honestly. You'd be like, what? So true.
Yes. Well,
Amazing.
thank you, Liz, for sharing this
Yay.
underrated moment. Thank you, Alicia Keys, Beyonce, and Method Man for your contributions. And we hope we can get the music videos that we all want and deserve.
Right.
Yes. While I'm still on this earth, I hope that I get to see
Right.
this music
Honestly,
video
there's so
someday.
many people on the YouTube comments that are like, why am I still waiting for this video 11 years later?
Mhm.
Like,
We're all on the edge of our seats. Come on.
they're like, why am I still waiting for it?
How bad could it have been?
I
Like,
know.
Right?
Just share.
But if you viewers here want to hear more from us and Liz, hop over to our hot takes because we're gonna have a hot take moment with Liz. Why don't you give them a little teaser of what we're gonna be talking about in our hot takes?
we're talking about lists and how people have strong opinions over the top this or top that list.
Yep. That's
Nice.
right. So you can check that out on patreon.com/This Is a Moment podcast. And as always, make sure to subscribe, like this video, follow us on social media. Liz, why don't you give them your social media so they can make sure to follow you as well?
Oh,
Where the
yeah.
people
You can
find
find
you.
me, Watch LA every day on Instagram and Twitter as well.
Nice. All right. Thanks, you guys, for joining us. We'll see you again soon.
Woo.